With today's lesson, we are going to be learning about the shapes that I have in front of me. So, I have a drawer of shapes. I'll turn it this way so that you can see. And I just want you to take notice of all the shapes that you see in front of me. What do they have in common? Or what don't they have in common? How are they similar? And how are they different? Now, if you're thinking that all of these shapes are blue, yep, but we're going to look for something a little bit more than that. Like, for instance, they all have 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 corners. If I were to count each corner of each shape, there would be 4 corners in each shape. And these shapes are very special. Any shape that has 4 sides and 4 corners is called a quadrilateral. Can you say that with me? Quadrilateral. And this is how you spell it. So a quadrilateral means a 4-sided shape. Quadri means 4, and lateral means sides. So 4 sides, which is the tray of shapes in front of us. So if you want to go ahead and pause the video, you can write that down in your notebook. Now, maybe some of these shapes look familiar to you, and maybe some of them don't. Let's start off with this one. This is a very special shape. This shape is called a rhombus. Rhombus comes from the Greek word rhombus, which means a spinning top. So back then, they had spinning tops that looked like this, and they would spin it, and it would spin and spin and spin. So that's why rhombus got its name from the Greek. So that one is a rhombus. Not sure if you can see that. Let's see if I can make some space. I'll do this. Here's what I'll do. I will write down the word rhombus. Okay, let's talk about our next shape. It looks similar to the rhombus, except it's a little bit longer, and it's a little bit thinner. And we're going to call this shape a parallelogram. So parallelogram can be broken up into its Greek parts. Parallel, which means beside another, and gram means drawing. So if we talk about parallelogram, it is a beside another drawing. So parallel means that the 2 opposite lines are next to each other or across from each other. And if this line was to go on and on forever, they would never cross. It could go on and on forever this way, and it would never cross. We could do the same thing with the sides here and here. If this went on and on forever, and this went on and on forever, these lines would never cross. So we call those lines parallel, kind of like a road, right? If you're driving on one side of the road and another car is driving the other, we're parallel, because if the lines were not parallel, we would crash and we would cause an accident. So parallelogram has 2 sides that are parallel. So if you want to go ahead and pause and write this in your notebook, you can go ahead and do that too. And I will write the name down here. Okay. The next shape that I wanted to take out looks like this. We call this shape a trapezoid. Now, trapezoid comes from the Greek word trapeza, which means table, and you can kind of see that shape here. Now, there were actually two trapezoids in our geometry drawers. One looks like this, and the other one looks like this. This is pretty much half of this side, except it's just a little bit bigger and longer. So this is a trapezoid, and this is also a trapezoid. And you can tell that they kind of do look like a table. So if you want to go ahead and pause the movie and write the definition down, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to write down the word trapezoid on my card, and I'm going to label these two shapes. So I have trapezoid for the both of them. Okay, we're almost done. This shape looks familiar, as it should look familiar. Now, this shape is called a kite. I don't have a definition card for it, and I'll put it down here so you can see it easier. But a kite is like a shape. If you think about the kites that we fly, we notice that many of the shapes that we fly that are kites look like this. These lines are not parallel in either of these ones because they intersect or they cross and hit each other. So that's a kite. And I have one more shape that I need to go through. This. Now, this is a very special shape. You're probably wondering, what is this shape? And we've never seen it before. Well, we're going to call this shape a concave quadrilateral. So concave meaning that like it goes in. So this is the part that it kind of goes in. And it's a quadrilateral because it's a four-sided shape. So I'm going to go ahead and write down concave quadrilateral. And I'll move this out of the way so you can see the labels even better. Okay, so here I have gone through all of my quadrilaterals. I have a rhombus, parallelogram, two types of trapezoids, a kite, and a concave quadrilateral. Now, just in general, to talk about a summary or to talk about everything that we learned about quadrilaterals. So these are just some basic or common quadrilaterals that you will see, because any shape that has four sides is considered a quadrilateral. And so I have various shapes in here that have four sides, and they don't all look the same, but they're all considered a quadrilateral. And that completes our geometry lesson on quadrilaterals.